Hello! My name's Tori Ann Perky, and from my homeschool to your homeschool, I want to talk to you just a little bit about what to do when you feel like giving up. And there's lots of ways that you can be feeling like giving up, but I'm specifically talking today about when you feel like throwing in the towel because your kids are being stinkers. Okay, so clearly my kids cannot be the only ones who are stinkers sometimes. And I'm here to tell you that they can be really big stinkers. I'll bring out a new activity and they'll be like, oh, I don't want to do this. Or I'll say, hey, we're going to go on this really cool field trip. And there'll be one. There'll be three that'll be super excited. And there'll be one that'll be like, I don't want to go. I just want to stay home and a blah, blah, blah. Or I want to go hang out with my friends instead of go do this thing. Or, oh, I don't want to read that book. Or you can't make me do that. Like different kids will say different things. And one will get going, then the other will get going. And before you know it, everything's fallen apart. And in the past, I will be perfectly honest, there have been times when I've been like, fine, we're not going, or fine, if you don't appreciate what I'm giving you, then we just won't play this fun game, and you all can do workbooks. Like, there have been moments, I'm not proud of them, but there have been moments when that is what's happened. And I don't want to be like that, right? I want to be able to go and do fun things. I want to be able to go do exciting field trips and play fun games and read exciting books, and it is so frustrating when a kid derails the entire experience because they're having a bad attitude. And some kids are better than others. I've got some that are way more open to new things than others. And recently I had a friend tell me something that summed up what I had been learning all along, but it rings in my head all the time, you guys, right now. All the time, because I have teenagers, and my teenagers, I love them. I love my teenagers, but sometimes they're stinkers. So this is the phrase, persist longer than they resist. I wish I'd had this phrase when they were little. Persist longer than they resist. So kids are going to resist the new thing. They're going to resist the new idea. They're going to resist. There will be that one kid who resists the amazing field trip that should be the bomb. There will be that kid, and they're going to resist. And if you think persist longer than they resist, then what can happen is that you're like, you know what, we're going anyway. Go get your shoes on, and you stay calm. And in my finer moments, I'm able to do this. And I say, oh, you know what? We're leaving now, so you can stay home and do X, or you can come and do Y. Now, my kids are older, so I can do that, right? When they were little, it's like, put your shoes on, or don't, just carry them, but get in the car. And persisting is pushing through till they can realize that it can be fun. And now my kids are older, and so I just had an experience where we were going somewhere, and I bought a ticket, and I had one kid who just did not want to come, and I thought, okay, do I force this? Do I not? I persist longer than they resist. I thought, okay, well, I'll give you the choice, but you can stay home and clean, or you can come do this fun thing. And this kid actually opted to stay home and clean. Great. Like, I'm all about choices. I'm all about agency. But there are other times where this kid in particular will give me a hard time, and I will just say, well, we are doing this activity as a family. You need to come and watch, even if you're not going to participate. And over time, when they watch, they will grow into it. And that's what's happened with this kid, is that when I persist, this kid gives up and actually embraces the activity and has a good time. That's the thing, is you know that it's going to be fun on the other side if everybody could just be on board. Seriously, it happens to all of us. You are not alone. You are not alone. We're all dealing with this. We're all dealing with kids who just don't always want to do stuff. So persist longer than they resist. Don't give up because the kid is pushing back. Now, you're still looking for problem solving. You're still making sure you're putting the right things in front of them. Like, this is not just be so stubborn that you destroy the relationship. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being calm. I'm talking about being kind. I'm talking about setting up boundaries and having accountability and agency. Like those are whole other topics. I'm not saying that you're just going to like push them and drill them into the ground, but I am saying don't give up on an idea. Don't give up on a project. Don't give up on an opportunity because you have one kid who insists that they're going to be miserable and they don't want to go. Or they insist they hate that class, but you know if they just try long enough, they will enjoy it. This is about you listening to your mom intuition enough that you can get to the point where you know when to persist and a little bit more when it's like, okay, maybe we need to change this up a little bit. And obviously it's a dance and you're figuring all that out. But I do know that early on I quit often before I should have, and I let those kids resist and give up. And it would derail really cool things that I had planned. And I learned it, but I didn't have the phrase. But now you have the phrase. You have the phrase. Persist longer than they resist. You're welcome. You're going to love it. It's going to change your homeschool, because suddenly that kid who you know if you can just push them through, you now have a phrase in your mind that you can say. And if it does anything for your homeschool like what it's done for mine, it's going to be awesome. All right, I'm Tori Ann Perky, and I make these videos every week so that you can be a super successful and confident homeschool mom.